In a quiet town, nestled between rolling hills and endless skies, stood a grand church, the Light Temple Ministries. It was led by Pastor Obadiah, a man revered, feared, and followed. To the world, he was a prophet, a man of miracles, but behind the walls of his golden sanctuary was a secret so dark it could shatter everything. This is the story of what happened after Pastor Obadiah buried his pregnant wife and children beneath his church. Pastor Obadiah was once a poor boy from the village of Anyala. He grew up watching his mother cry herself to sleep, beaten and abandoned by men of God who promised help but never delivered. At the age of 17, Obadiah vowed to become powerful, not just rich, but worshipped. He'd traveled far, and when he returned 10 years later, he had power, or so it seemed. He healed the sick, made barren women conceive, demons screamed in his presence. Within months, the Light Temple Ministries had 7 branches. People sold their homes to sow seeds into the ministry, but no one knew the truth. You see, Pastor Obadiah had made a secret path during his time away. Deep in the hills of a forbidden forest, he knelt before a shrine and offered his future in exchange for supernatural power. But these spirits required something personal, blood, not just any blood, innocent blood. When the spirits came for payment, they demanded something he never imagined, his own family. His wife, Miriam, was 7 months pregnant with twins. They had 2 daughters already. Obadiah tried to negotiate. He begged, but the spirits laughed. You wanted the world, now pay for it. Consumed by fear of losing his power and pride of losing his image, Pastor Obadiah made a horrifying choice. One rainy night, while his wife and children slept peacefully, he dropped their dinner. The next day, the church hosted a powerful service. People danced, screamed, prophesied. Beneath the altar, freshly poured cement sealed the graves of Miriam and the children. For a while, everything seemed normal. Bigger miracles, packed churches, new cars, international invites. But 3 months later, the screaming started. At midnight, Pastor Obadiah would hear the cries of babies echoing through the church floor. He saw his wife's bloodied face in mirrors. During services, microphones would pick up whispers saying, "Why did you kill us?" Members began to feel cold chills. A child claimed he saw a lady sleeping under the altar. Another said, "There's a baby crying on the floor." Then came the day of collapse. It was a Sunday. Thousands gathered for the anniversary service. As the choirs sang and people danced, the floor beneath the altar cracked. A gasping hole formed, and from it, a skeleton-filled coffin rose halfway out, wrapped in the church's original founding cloth. Blood stained the white lace. People screamed. Chaos erupted. Women fainted. Obadiah froze. The police were called. Investigations began, and the truth came pouring out. A hidden confession video left on Miriam's old phone exposed everything. She had recorded her suspicions in secret, saying, "If anything happens to me, it was Obadiah. Please don't let him bury me in secret. He's been talking to something. He's not the man you think." Pastor Obadiah was arrested in front of his congregation. In prison, he was tormented day and night by visions of Miriam and his children. He screamed in his sleep, pleaded for forgiveness, and eventually broke. He confessed everything publicly, writing a letter to every branch of his church. He begged families to forgive him and asked that the church buildings be destroyed. But then, something strange happened. One of the former choir members, a young woman named Esther, who had lost her parents due to false prophecy from Obadiah, visited him in prison. Instead of hate, she offered him forgiveness. She said, You ruined so many lives, but if even one soul can be saved through your downfall, your family didn't die in vain. Her kindness sparked something in the broken man. Obadiah began preaching in prison, not as a prophet, but as a man who lost everything and found truth too late. He warned others about the danger of false power, of pride, of ignoring the quiet voice of God for loud applause of men. 10 years passed. A small white chapel now stands on the old land of the Light Temple Ministries. It's called the House of Mercy. No loudspeakers, no flashy suits, just a humble community of people helping the broken, leading them. And in the corner of the chapel, a plaque reads, "In the memory of Miriam, Asher, Zara, and the Obon twins, your light was buried but never died. Truth, you shine again." Moral lesson: never trade your soul for power, no matter how tempting. Beware of those who lead with charisma but lack character. Redemption is painful but possible. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you or kept you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more powerful and unforgettable stories your way. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next tale.